All right, good morning. Today we're looking at a Class B ship that I've come up with. This is just a continuation of a Class A hauler that I previously built, and I'll show you that once we get down to the shipbuilder. This is the same design that I just wanted to see what kind of improvements I could get out of upgrading it to a Class B ship. So we'll get down to the shipbuilder, I'll take it apart, take it into combat, see how it performs, and I'll take you on a tour of the inside and all that good stuff. All right, we're down here at a shipbuilder. As you can see, this is my earlier Class A ship, and this one I was able to get the cargo up to 4,100, max crew of 8. The jump range is an issue because there's no Class A grab drives powerful enough to get it up to 30 with this much cargo, even though I still have 100 mobility. It's kind of annoying, but that's the way it is. I was able to squeeze out 6 2x1 hab, or enough room for 7 2x1 habs out of this design. Somebody asked me if I could do a Class B version of this, so I came up with the Queen B. It's a B class ship. So 8 crew members, 30 light year jump range, 100 mobility. You notice that the cargo is only 4330. So why is it a Class B and only has like 130 more cargo than the Class A ship? Well, that's because on this Class A ship, these engines, these SA 4330s, only have a max power of 2, so you can have 6 of them. Whereas the Queen Bee here, these engines are better, the SAE 5660s, but you can only have 4 of them because they're 3 power. As far as I know, there's no engine in the B class range that only require 2 power, at least none that I've been able to find. So it limits the design on how much cargo you can carry. Now, if this was a Class C ship, you could get the SAL 6830 engines after doing all the Money Can Buy quest from Stroud. And those engines, I have another ship I'll post at the end of this video that I was able to get somewhere between 8,200 and 8,500 cargo out of the ship and still maintain 100 mobility. So it's a huge jump. So from Class A to Class B is essentially the same, but from Class B to Class C is you can almost double this. The one thing I did improve on some earlier designs I've done of this was I've really improved the amount of hab space you can get into these things. So this is what it looks like without the habs. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total or potential 2x1 habs that you can put in here. So that's a extra 2 habs over the Class A Awesome Possum ship that I was looking at just a few minutes ago. If you needed to increase the do 3 2x1 habs here instead of this one, that would increase the weight. I'm at the max right now. 1797 is the max before you go over 100 mobility. It would drop to 99. But you could easily get over that by just deleting this cargo off the rear, and that would give you plenty of room to upgrade whatever you need. Alright, I'll take it apart. I'll show you how I put it together, and we'll take it into combat and see how it performs. Alright, I got the ship taken apart. With this build, I'm going to start with the shipbed 200 landing bay. I did something a little different with this build. Normally I use all the same types of landing gears, but this time to save weight, where are the other two at? Ah, right here. I used 2 Acculander 11 landing gears. And they only have 2 landing thrusts, but they weigh 2 tons each. And then I used 2 of these NG20s that weigh 4 tons each. That saved me, what is it, like 2 tons per gear, or yeah, 2 tons. So, and like I said, I came out to the maximum 1797 If I went to 1798, the mobility would have dropped to 99. So for the base of the ship, we're going to start with the Stroud living quarters and a Stroud all-in-one berth, 2x1. The ship bed 200 landing bay will go out right there. At the front of the ship, we're going to use the NG20 in the wide configuration, and the other landing gear NG20 in the wide configuration. Behind it, we're going to use those two Acculander 11 landing gears, and it's going to be, you can see they kind of slope either to the right, to the left, or just centered. We're going to use the centered position. In this little cavity right here, we're going to use a Titan 450 HE tank and a Titan 550 HE tank on the other side. So a 550 and a 450. And that'll give me 270 fuel, which is enough for me. I have the astrodynamics skill maxed out, which reduces my fuel capacity or fuel needed by 50%. So if you don't have that, you're going to need bigger fuel tanks. And like I said, the easiest way to do that would be to just delete the this 100 cm ballast cargo hold and just put bigger tanks there. All right, on top of these two habs here, we're going to put a Stroud all-in-one berth and a Stroud battle station. And on top of that, we're going to put a Stroud mess hall 2x3. So on the front of the ship, we're going to use a Cabot C3 bridge, just like that. For the engines, we're going to be using these SAE 5660 engines, and to my knowledge, these are the best or the most powerful engines that you can get on the Class B ship. Like I was saying earlier, they're 3 power, so you can only have 4 of them. Whereas with the Class A and the Class C, you have an option to have engines that are 2 power, so you can have 6 engines total, which is why you're able to push the cargo up on the Class A and the Class C's as high as they go. Whereas this one, I was able to get up to like 4,400 doing some weird stuff, but I didn't like that, so I went back to this design to 4,330. But we're going to put all 4 of them just like this. Our reactor is the 104 DS mag inertial, and it is 39 powered, which is only 1 less than the maximum for the C class, so it's just nearly as good as a C class reactor. The Aurora 13G grav drive, and this is one thing where the Class B is a lot better, because even with all the cargo maxed out and mobility at 100, we still have a grav drive that can push us up to 30 light year jump range. Whereas the Class A, with this much cargo, even though you still have 100 mobility, tops out at 26 light year jump range, which is kind of annoying. So this is essentially the ship right here. For the cargo, we're using 12 of these 300 cm ballast cargo holds, and we're just gonna put them all along the top 2 layers. We're gonna leave the bottom layer open for the moment. These are all 300s, right? Yeah. So that's it for the cargo there, and then on the rear, we're going to put this 100 cm ballast cargo hold. We'll tack it right onto the back of the grav drive. For our shield, we're going to use a Vanguard bulwark. And then for our docker, we're going to use a flipped 100 DP Slim docker. And we're going to put that on the bottom. Oops. I like to keep as much stuff off the top as possible. That's just my personal preference, but you do whatever you want to do for your builds. For the weapons mounts, we're going to put all our weapons lined up down here on the bottom. If you wanted to do turrets or whatever, you can put them up here, that's fine. For the weapons, or I'll go over here just a second. Let me get these on. We're using 4 of the PBO 175 auto helion beams, 4 of the PBO 100 auto neutron beams, and 4 of the PB 175 helion beams. So you can see those are the auto helion beams, and these are the regular just helion beams. So 4 PB 175s, 4 PBO 100 auto neutron beams, and 4 of the PBO 175 auto helion beams. You can see our damage down here is pretty good. I have the isolation skill. I don't know if it matters if the crew is assigned to the ship or not. I don't think so. But for the they get the 40% increased damage for the isolation perk. But I'm happy with this. It's a simple design. I use this for a lot of different ships. A lot of people have complained that all my ships look the same, and they're right. They do, because this is just the most efficient shape that you can get, because there's no extraneous pieces needed. There's no wings, there's no tails, there's no radiators. Everything is just as efficiently as possible. So every ton of cargo spared is going into the cargo, or a ton of mass is going into the cargo capacity. And for a ship this small, I mean, without this, it's only what, 20 meters or 40 meters long. But to have this much hab space in a ship this small is pretty crazy. The ship looks funny with no hab space in there. It always does this to me. There we go. So we're back to nominal. It's a sleek design. It's not very large. I don't like to do the super large ships. It's just because the interiors get to be just completely convoluted. Maybe when 2028, whenever Bethesda comes around with a patch that lets you customize the interior, maybe I'll start doing the bigger ships. I named her the Queen Bee. So this is the design. This is basically just the Capybara Class B version. The Mark III Class B version. So you come inside, you got the living quarters down here, so the crew can hang out. And whatever they're doing down here. There's a all-in-one hab down here where the crew can have some extra bunks to sleep.
Hey Dad, want to hear a joke?
No, I do not want to hear a joke. Go up to the second floor, you get another 2x1 hab, or all-in-one hab for another 4 bunks. Over here you have the battle stations where the crew will work while they're in space. If you go to the top floor here, you get the dining facility here, or the what do they call this? I don't even remember what the actual name of this hab now is. Mess hall.
Your ship is way bigger than Dad's.
Any day you make it through is a
So this is the
victory in my
pantry.
book.
We keep the food.
So, what's new with you today?
Go into the cockpit. This is the cabin bridge, so it's got the ladder, or the stairs that go down to the second floor. If you want to go that way. It's a good ship. Oh, I'm in the wrong chair. Jesus.
Engines purring. Let's do this. Nothing like hitting orbit.
Let me rebalance everything here. So if we go into the cargo, I have the payload skills, and I have Samco on board. That brings my cargo up to 7,501. So it's not too shabby. Weapons, the shield is 2320. This is where Class Bs are really better than Class As because their shield is a lot better than the difference between Class B and Class C isn't that much, but the difference between Class A and Class B is pretty significant. So we'll go over to the Serpentis system. Oh, in my previous video, I forgot to. There's a couple systems down here, like this planet right here, and you can see their jump range is like 30 light years. Why the hell is this so hard? That's weird. Class A was only showing 20. I don't know. There was a couple planets on that Class A ship because it only had 26 light year jump range that I couldn't reach some of the planets that were down in this very bottom down here. It was like 3 or 4 planets I couldn't get to because it just didn't have the jump range. But this one does. Go to Serpentis.
Board's all green. Successful jump.
You have met your doom.
Way to run, pal. Grab drive out.
That was fast.
Target's jump drive is down.
Try this hostile activity area.
The great serpent demands blood.
Come back, check out their grab drive.
Bam! Down goes their grab drop.
Enemy's grab drive disabled.
I think I saw another hotspot over here. Try that. Once you get all your combat skills for space maxed out, the game is pretty easy for space combat. So I still haven't messed around with EM weapons. I'm not convinced they're really worth messing around with.
Are you prepared to face judgment? Grab drive offline.
Target sitting there with no
Lost their
grab
shields.
drive now.
Enemy's shield system
So that's the Queen Bee. See if I can get out of these asteroids so I can take a look at it from the outside. Damn it. I'm happy with the ship. Like I said, I was able to get a little bit more cargo out of it, but I had to do some funky things with the cargo, and it just started to look a little weird. Like, aesthetics is important to me. I'm not gonna just build something that's just fugly just to get a couple extra kilograms of cargo out of it. So if we go to photo mode, like I said, I wish there was a way to get 6 engines total on a Class B ship, but if there is, I'm not seeing it. If it's a small ship, it's only half the size, or half the maximum size that is allowed by the game. But still, even though it's compact, it's pretty powerful. And remember, the longer you make the ship, you're adding more stuff to it, the less cargo, because you're adding mass in other places. You got to take it away from somewhere else. So you'd have to start downgrading, your mass, your cargo capacity. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it looks pretty good. Let me take a look under here. I did. There was a way to do this. One of these gears is actually not necessary. I could delete one of these rear gears and reorganize it. I had the ship bed actually facing aft, and the two gears, or the two fuel tanks. I had the one Acculander gear up on this end, and these two gears on the back end. And I deleted the fourth Acculander gear. So there's only 3 gears. These two ones from Nova Galactic and the one Acculander. So I had the Acculander up here, and I had the 2 fuel tanks on either side of it. And it saved 1 ton, I think, of space. But it wasn't worth it. I mean, I think this looks better. It just looked a little weird to me, having the 2 tanks up here with just the 1 gear right there where the ship, the landing bay is. I mean, it works, and it was a little bit more efficient, but yeah, I didn't need to save that 1 ton of weight. It didn't matter. Anyways, if you guys have any more ships you'd like to see, let me know. This was actually a ship that I built because somebody in my channel wanted to see if I could do a Class B, and this is what I came up with. So let me know, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks.